What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today, I'm showing you some Pangea Bullet. I had this was a second Pangea Bullet tournament ever. First one I didn't participate in, but in this one, I got a pretty nice bullet run, and I'm going to show it to you guys. So first match, I'm against DJ Salad. I'm not hosting, and let's just get right into things. So I just kind of do normal stuff. I go for the lighthouse because I want to upgrade with hunting. So yeah, don't want to spend time getting fishing, even on Pangea. At least with this setup, it's just not worth going for fishing. And one big upside with going for hunting, you're going to see in a bit, I go climbing, and then they hit me here. I was expecting they might knock me off the village, and I was ready with my warriors. I get a pop ruin, which is really nice here. I can't get a crab off of it, but the extra economy and stars is very nice. I get org and archery, and I can make some units. Not worried about upgrading my cities, because units are just way more important. If I upgraded my city instead, I would have lost it. You know, this is Bullet. You need that unit count to be up. I kill this warrior because it's on the forest tile, not this one. This one can be stranded. And then unsiege with the archers, so then I can train a bunch of units this turn again. Not focused on that economy. And, you know, they're doing their thing. I get a workshop here. Get even more economy. More units. And, yeah, they kind of misplay here. They give me an archer to 2 out of 3 kills, which is immediately going to come back to bite them. So I managed to get a lighthouse too, but that doesn't really matter. And so now I can siege and get a vet archer. And this is pretty much already decisive. This vet archer is just too much to give me. Because they're even up in cities, but it doesn't matter. This siege is now unbreakable. They can't do anything about it. So I can just level up even more. And at this point, they just give up. And that's game 1. So let's go on to the next game. Alright, so this time we've got a Hoderick mirror match, and once again I have that lighthouse spawn. The opponent does as well. You can see that we have the same starting score, so we both have a lighthouse spawn. And because of the way that Pangea works, it's different than drylands and lakes. I don't know which lighthouse they have. I mean, it's only on Pangea and continents that you can even have both sides have a lighthouse spawn, because normally with lighthouse spawns you can only have them in the north if it's a tiny map. But with Pangea, it can be anywhere, which means I can't really like theory craft exactly where they are and perfectly predict everything. I have to be flexible here. And so what I opt for, I go for a lighthouse opening, the warrior in front to play things very safe, get hunting to get the quick upgrade, and then I want to go for another archer. I step on the road, I meet the opponent, and I could go ahead and shoot this warrior, but I don't really want to, because if they have an archer near this warrior, which they most likely do, then my archer dies. Yes, I keep the ruin, but I'm keeping the ruin either way, so I'd rather keep my archer safe. But then you can see here the opponent captures, which this is a huge mistake here, and you're about to see why. Like, it seems safe at first because, well, I'm just taking this ruin, but I'm not taking the ruin. And they can't keep this. I know they can't keep it. They only have 3 units, archer on the capital, and a warrior that they just moved away. And I just killed their 3rd unit that was on that city. They cannot unsiege. And if they had instead not captured the city, I would have gotten the city way later, if at all. And yes, I would get the ruin, but they've got a lot more to fight for. But instead I steal the city, and this ruin is still uncontested. Or it's contested, sorry. And yeah, I just essentially get free village. And this is just a major advantage for me. They try to hold on. They even take a village here, trying to even things up. So you can see they get that village. There's one back here, and if I give them the chance to equalize, then it's going to be a tough game to win. So I'm having none of it. I'm spamming units, and I'm just going to win the game. I have to just like press on the gas, spam units like crazy. They're trying to play defense. I even make a warrior because I knew that they were going to kill the archer. So now I'm going to start attacking directly in, and just so many units. And I know that this 3-on-2, plus I had that unit advantage from all the momentum I got earlier, and at this point this is just too much. And I still have the ruin, which I still have not claimed. And now, at this point, they just resign. Siege, still don't take the ruin. And yeah, very quick, 10 turns. I just rushed the opponent down for that one mistake. And again, you can check their point of view. They had the information to actually know that capturing is absolutely not the call here, because they know that I have this lighthouse. Because they can see where I came from. You see that? So they should have known to walk away and go for a village back here. So really technical game, going down to one mistake. But now let's cut to the next game. All right, now this one, round 3. This one is against Arvis, who you guys might recognize as a Polytopia Twitch streamer. He streams Polytopia. He does a lot of Omaji streaming. He's trying to get Omaji to 1900. He's gotten very close. He is a very skilled Poly Champions player as well. And yeah, he was streaming these bullet games as well. Obviously, I wasn't watching his stream because that would be cheating. But yeah, let's get right into things. So I go for the turn 1 writing because I'm hosting here. So I skip my turn 0. So I've got 8 stars on turn 1 and my warrior hasn't even moved. So writing opening is usually a pretty good bet. And I felt like with this open sort of landscape, it made even more sense to go for this. And seeing them on the village, my riders are going to expand really well here, but they actually keep the village anyway. So not so good for me, but I can keep this village. Now, if we look at the starting score again, they had a lighthouse spawn once again. So how am I able to get away with this? Didn't we just have a game where the opponent tried to expand really close to the lighthouse spawn and they immediately lost the game? Yeah, but in this case, I know that they don't have the troops. I just took out one of their warriors. They've got a warrior here. At most, they have one other warrior. Not enough to unsiege. So this is safe. What I'm really worried about is them just stealing the ruin out of nowhere. But I know that they probably need to take this village right now, or else there's going to be complications. So I know I can kind of get away with these very sneaky plays. And I open the ruin, I get an explorer. And it looks like they have archery. But I'm able to steal this village, and this is super important. Because if they got this village, I would have been in quite a lot of trouble, and you'll see why later. So they siege. But I'm able to resolve things just fine. And then I develop, as I need to. And then I leave my rider here. This looks awfully suspicious. Why do I leave my rider here? The reason why I leave my rider here is to set a trap. And he falls into it perfectly. He walks up and he hits this rider. Why is this a mistake? Well, you might be able to see 1 out of 3 kills. He's moved his warrior. It's going to get damaged. It's going to have 8 HP. That means that if I hit with this 10 HP rider, I can kill with this 4 HP rider, bringing it to 2 out of 3. And I need this rider at 2 out of 3. Why do I need it at 2 out of 3? Because I need to take this village. Why is that important for the village? You'll see. Just watch. So I take it out, I find another ruin, and I set up another trap. This rider that can get killed by the archer. Why would I let that happen? Well, because I need the 3 out of 3 rider now. The 2 out of 3 is just the start. But now, the idea is if the rider comes up and kills this, same idea, send these riders. I kill with the 4 HP, it's a veteran, and I get this village for free. Super easy, not have to fight nearly as much as I would have to otherwise. And I make some more units here. They don't fall for it, but they do make a warrior, and I figure now I can go for yet another cheeky idea here. Sending this rider here. The archer can shoot it. Right? So they're going to go here and they're going to shoot this, yeah? But then it leaves their archer vulnerable to both of these riders. Well, they can block that, right? So they go, they shoot. They don't want their archer to die, so they move the warrior here. But I have a plan for that. See, I'm thinking 2 steps ahead. So if they move the warrior here, this rider with 2 out of 3 kills is once again gonna come into play. They have to train an archer here, except I don't even think that works actually, because this archer is susceptible to attacks. I think it might barely work. I'm actually not 100% sure. But if they don't train an archer here, and they train a warrior instead, they would also have to move this archer back. I'm getting a vet rider on here, and they cannot stop it. And you'll see exactly what I mean, because they do exactly what I expect them to do. They do get forestry though, which is a bit concerning, but they make this warrior. That means I can keep this village. And again, I get this vet sword, and it looks like they can defend. They've got 2 archers, but I had this all planned out. Vet rider, now I keep this. And there's a village back here, so this is going to be a 5-on-2. And this could have easily been a 4-on-2 or even a 4-on-3, or if I didn't keep this, who even knows what. But I've been getting away with all these sneaky plays. And it's been paying dividends. So now I've got a massive advantage here, and I get roads to connect everything and get some more mobility to counter these archers, which should hopefully pay off. Trading some units here. It's a pretty nice trade for them actually, so I shouldn't have really let that happen. Another capture happens. I'm advancing this vet sword, getting ready to siege. And just trying to trade units down because I can make more units a turn than them. So if I force these units off, this is good. And it clears the way for my vet sword. But it's actually at this point where I make a mistake. So what's the mistake? I advance my units. The idea here, it's a simple tactic. Basically, they need to unsiege this. So if I put a bunch of units up here, they can't focus on unsieging. These archers are overloaded. They have to prioritize this vet sword. Is what I thought would be the case, but they have a sneaky little trick themselves that I completely missed here, and you guys might be able to see the idea here. As I place my own gate of power in a bit of a sense of irony after donating the opponent 3 kills to give them their own gate of power plus the sawmill, they now kill 3 of my riders for free. 2 of these archers are now at 2 out of 3 kills. They got a 1 out of 3 kill archer here. They're all safe and well defended because I threw my riders in instead of putting them back where they'd have to overextend their archers to attack. And now they have a giant, and now there's going to be some pushback. I do get a giant of my own, but it's far away from defending this western side of the map, and my eco is quite slow. So I need to spend time developing that, which is what I do here. And I make a rider, and I make warrior here because I'm going to sacrifice this. This is a sacrificial warrior. I need to sacrifice units against this. And they get another giant. They push it right in, and all of a sudden, from that one mistake, suddenly things are getting really scary. That's all it takes, just one little mishap. And suddenly, yeah, now these are on the defense boost too. That's why I sacrificed units last turn, is because I knew there's going to be some problems. They're chipping away at this giant, trying to get rid of this. I have to sacrifice units to deal with this. Ignore this giant a little bit. My priorities are all over the place. I just can't deal with both of these. I sacrifice another warrior so I can train another warrior here. And they are able to ultimately take this city away from me and get a border growth on their capital. Very interesting. They did it for the lighthouse population, I believe, and some other reasons. I don't recall exactly why. I think it was the only way for them to get a giant. But I am able to take out this giant. The siege is still quite annoying, but I get forestry, chop those so there's no more giants there. Sacrifice some more units, spam even more. Develop my economy. So now it's a 3-on-4. And it should be good enough because now my unit advantage once again is just overwhelming. I had to sacrifice a lot of units, but I'm making so many a turn that unless they can hold on to this 3-on-4, then I've got this game in the bag now. I siege this, they can't unsiege. Now it's going to be back to a 2-on-5, and I'm very comfortable winning this because they only have one giant now, and I can trade things down. I'm about to get another giant myself, and I've kind of cleaned up my mess now. Things should be a-okay. They just don't have the units to defend and do anything here. Their position will now fall apart, and that'll be that. And this game actually puts me in the grand finals. This is a bracket of only 8 people, so very small bracket, and I'm in the winner side of grand finals too. Get a cheeky climbing, baiting out the Justeeni in case they don't resign immediately, which this is obviously losing for them, so yeah. Game ends here. Now I'm gonna leave the grand finals as a part 2 because I have to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, guys. It's good for the content or something like that. But hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.